Hello and welcome back to an abundance at the moment. We are harvesting, I would say, large courgettes, probably marrows now. We've got large cucumbers as always, carrots, French beans. The tomatoes have just started off now. But one of the ones I really do look forward to harvesting is the potatoes, because they're the only ones, except for the carrots, that you can't see and you just wonder what's going to be in there. I can see here there's one there, so I'm looking forward to cracking this open. Now I've got another one that I'm going to really look forward to harvesting, is the blue banana Guatemala squash. That is absolutely massive now. Now this one is, I was going to say, over a foot. Now with this abundance, we've got all these yellow flowers and all the bees are coming in. But what we're also bringing in is all the butterflies, and they've devastated the kohlrabi, the kale and the Brussels sprouts. So it's not all going swimmingly at the moment. I've got quite a bit of planning and trying to sort out what to do in those new empty spaces, shall we say. Right, let's crack open this. Like I say, potatoes, they're one of my favourites to harvest. Now we did get real nice ones. These are Charlottes. We did get some real nice ones last time I cracked open two of the tubs. Right, apologies there. I forgot to press record. In the excitement of harvesting some more potatoes, I forgot to press record. That's not a good start, but this is a good start. Got some nice sized ones there, which I'm really pleased with. Sorry, you just didn't see my excitement when I cracked that open. Let's try again with another one. Right, let's try this again. Made sure I press record this time. So look at this one. This one's oval, so I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes. Oh, this one's got a lot on this side. Let me just, there we go. There's a lot in there. And what I'm doing is looking through this compost, thinking that this compost is really good still. So I'm going to use it straight away again. Topped up with my rejuvenated compost. Look at these. Right, well, there we go. That's not too bad from two so far. And again, we are getting some real nice sized ones in there. Right, well, I'm just cleaning this one up and getting onto the next tub of Charlottes. These are the blue banana Guatemala squashes, and these I'm really looking forward to trying. Apples are everywhere. Right, well, when I did actually start these, I did not realise how much these would grow, and it really has been a jungle. What's the good thing about them is, with the vines, you can literally just lift them and move them, which is what we're going to have to do here. We are going to sort the path out one of the evenings this week, so that'll get sorted. So it was a good job. There's two of us going to be doing that and be able to move these vines into a bit better location and not going across the lawn. It's a good job I don't need to cut the lawn at the moment. But what we have got, we've got some real nice sized squashes already. Let me show you some of them. Right, and look at the size of that one. Let me just put my hand there so you can actually see the size of those. That's a lovely one, that is. On some of the plants, we've got them as lime green. I'll show you the other plants there. They're dark green. They are supposed to turn blue, but yeah, they're pretty prolific. Yeah, that's only, what's that, 1.5 foot between them. But yeah, look at the size of that one. Right, see if I got this one in shot. Look at the size of that one. That's my hand compared to it. So that's probably our biggest one at the moment. There we go, look at the size of that one as well. And again, I'm really looking forward to these because we are just at the end of July and this is how big they've already grown. So I don't know what they're going to be like in September, October time. So I will be taking note of what the colour of the stalk is. But yeah, They're really nice there, nice looking squashes. So the squashes are doing really well this year, certainly the courgettes. But it looks just here, I'm probably a couple of days away from having the very first curry as well. I don't know whether the camera's catching it, but we've got quite a few going up. So looking forward to having some of those as well. Right, this one is just a one plant of Charlotte, so we'll see how this one goes. I'm not expecting as much as I got on the other two. That's alright, look at those. Let's crack it right open. This is from just one plant, so maybe I need to do them in 15 litre, just one plant. I don't know. That's one plant compared to two plants in a 15 litres. That's something I need to try out next year. Certainly doing Charlottes again. So look at that. There's some nice sizes there again. Right, you know me, I'm a little bit nerdy at times and I try and note things. So these are the actual 5 plants. So I've done 3 tubs. There's 2 plants with a single stem in 2 of the tubs, and then there's this one with the 4 stems in the 1 tub, which produced so much. So that's something I'm going to note for next year, is that if I've got multiple stems on one of these plants, then I'm going to put that into either a 15 litre tub on its own or mix and marry into 20 litre tubs. Because like I say, we're not going to be doing the Red Duke of York again, and I did those in 20 litre tubs. I think I prefer to do Charlottes. They're much more versatile potato for us anyway. There's plenty of slugs on this one. Now these have been ready for probably the last 2 months, so let's see what we get from this one. There's plenty of worms in here. Right, that's not too bad, and the compost is looking really healthy, so we'll be using that straight away again. Right, there you go, that's the Red Duke of York. Right, well there you go, that's a nice little haul just from 3 15 litre tubs and 1 20 litre tub. Really pleased with that. We'll have potatoes for the next couple of weeks again, and then the next ones are probably going to be the pink fair apple or some of the express. Now the pink fair apple, I did have a little rummage round, but on the tubs I couldn't actually get my hand in. There was that many little potatoes in there, so we'll see what we'll get with those, because there may be just a whole load of little potatoes, or there may be a few big ones as you go further down, but I just couldn't get my hand in. I have topped it up with another inch of compost, just the spent compost from other potato harvests, just to protect those on the top. But yeah, I'm pleased with that. Right, I'm just going to take these out. These are the ones for my mum. Look at the size of that. Now I'm taking them up in a couple of days, so we'll see if that one's ready to harvest beforehand or not. Because the less weight, this is my excuse, the less weight while these are travelling, the better, because that is quite a hefty tomato. So there's still a jungle in here. Even the tomatoes are getting towards the middle, so I'll probably start topping those off soon. But I am going to start cutting all these cucumber vines back, because I've got these small ones. What I'll do is I may film that a little bit later on when I do that. Because it just still goes against the grain, but what I'm looking at and seeing is quite a few of these cucumbers, there's not much on them on these vines going this way, so I just need to rejuvenate them. There we go, look at that, that's an absolute beauty, that is. And they certainly are a lovely colour. Right, it's so nice to be getting all these jalapenos at this time. Now I know these are really small, but these are ideal just to go into a stir fry, just a couple of those small ones, just to get that little pop of flavour and heat. I've done that the wrong way around. How nice to have had the jalapenos in the hand, but it's nice to make a start on the tomatoes and get more jalapenos. And this is what else we've been harvesting this week. Right, I don't think this basket is going to be big enough for this one. This is one that we really have left and we should have picked a couple of days ago. Look at the size of that. Well, it's in real good condition, so I'm looking forward to that. This is going to be the first time we tried these. I think this is the Verde one. I think maybe just one will do tonight. Right, so next up is the Manchester table. I think these are, these carrots. And these are ones we haven't tried yet. Well, that's alright. I know it's forked, but it certainly, it smells gorgeous as well. Certainly it looks in good condition, which I'm really pleased about, just because there's no mesh on there. So I know this one's small, but I think I'll just go with another one as well. We only need about 2 for the stir fry tonight. That's a nice one. And there we go. These are nice carrots. They smell absolutely fantastic. Now, like I say, I was really worried about not having any mesh over them, but fingers crossed the rest are in as good condition as that is. That's a real nice one to have. Now I could have left these in certainly for another month just to get them bigger, but right now, while we've got some nice fresh carrots, I might as well just harvest as is, because what it is doing is actually thinning them out. I mean, that one was rammed in up against a couple more, so that just gives a little bit more space for them to grow. And on thinning out carrots, I also desperately need to start thinning out these parsnips. I don't know what state they're going to be in. And you can't have a stir fry without beans, and look at all these beans that we got here. There's a whole load. Some nice juicy fat purple ones there. And now for some of this sunset chard. Look at the colours of that. That's supposed to be sunset chard. Obviously it's not, but it's all welcomed anyway. I think we'll just go with another piece. It did obviously start off yellow, so we'll see how we go with these. So there we go, absolutely vibrant colours. The sunset chard, whatever chard that is. Then we've got all these different colours, and again I keep on saying colours and different textures of the beans. You know, that's a nice fat green bean, that's a nice thin green bean. We got the courgette, which again is probably more of a marrow, but look at that for colours. And then we've got this lovely orange carrot. I think this is the Manchester table, so looking forward to trying that. That's the first time. That's a nice nice thick carrot, and all those colours are just going to make a vibrant stir fry tonight. Right, it's time to clear out this bed. I was just hoping that some of the kohlrabi would survive, but they've been completely munched by slugs, wood lice and now the caterpillars are just munching right the way through them, so there's nothing there that I can salvage. Right, I've just started doing the kohlrabi, but it's just started to rain outside and it's quite heavy, and so what I'm going to do is start on cutting back these cucumber vines. Now I've got let's see if we get this one out. Oh, ow, they aren't half prickly, these are. I've got new vines coming off, and this is what I want. So if I cut back all these vine or stems right the way back to where I've got a new side shoot coming out, then hopefully I'll get more vigor, growth again, because these got plenty of cucumbers on. So let's see if I can just support that there. And let's start some snipping. Now, I'm not going to use the knife for this because they are so intertwined at the moment, and hopefully that will allow some more light back into here. So here goes. Right, well, that's really opened it up, and what I've already got is here's a side shoot here that's ready to go, and like I say, I've already got this side shoot here. So I'm literally replacing those main stems with new viable ones. Like I say, this got loads of cucumbers on there, and that's got loads of cucumbers on here. So we'll have plenty more cucumbers there to go. Got to be careful not to break the actual stem, but I'm not too worried, to be truthful, because if it breaks, then all we get is just another side shoot starting to grow again. So these are really vigorous cucumbers, and again we're now meeting in the middle with new side shoots. I'm really pleased with that, and it's really opened it up. You probably can't capture it on camera because it literally is now pouring down with rain. That's it. It's been rained off for the rest of the day, I think now. Well, they're looking really good, and what's nice is I can see now all these tomatoes, and just make sure I can get them up to there, and I'm going to top them off now. So I'm getting pretty close to topping off all the tomatoes in here. Right, so that was a bit of a lethal break really. Once I get this knife in my hand, I'm away. And so we've got the cucumbers, they're all nicely tidied up. I've also done the tomatoes as well, and I think I am going to be topping them off now, because it's nice when you can stop coming in here having to tap the tomatoes to pollinate them. The only one that is not done the best is the super sauce, but everything else is just romping away. And we've got quite a lot of trusses on them, but I think I don't want the two tomatoes to be touching because I'm just encouraging blight there. There's not many leaves on there at the moment now, so we'll see how we go. Hopefully there's enough on there to get all these fruits ripe. Right, a little bit of a rain break before starting this. It just poured down as I just starting it, so I have already pulled these out, and they are just full of holes. I mean, look at the state of some of these. So it's a good opportunity now to assess this bed. Now I've got leeks to go straight in here, and that was my plan: radishes, kohlrabi, then the leeks. But I think I've got to assess it whether I do any more not just root veg but kohlrabi in here. Now normally I can get away with the slugs just going for the Chinese cabbage, but it appears that slugs went for, as soon as they finished eating the Chinese cabbage, which is absolutely stripped, they started on the kohlrabi, and as soon as they do a little nibble in there, then the wood lice are in there as well. And now the caterpillars. So yeah, I think this will change to just purely an allium bed. I'll have a few overwintering onions when they go in around about March time, and then a few more onions than the leeks, and I think that's what I'll do. Just keep it as allium for the next couple of years and then change it to something else, and hopefully by then the slugs and the wood lice have moved on. But you know what? My spares. So these are the spares. Now look at how good that is. That's in perfect condition. Fingers crossed it stays like that. So all the others. So I've got 4 in there and they're looking really healthy. So I'll be harvesting those in the next week. I'm not going to leave it too long. They really look bad, don't they? Look at the state of that one. So it's a couple of days later on. We had rain for the last couple of days and still we're pretty bone dry as it is. So it's very welcomed, but yeah, I just haven't been able to clear this bed of, I would say kohlrabi, but I might as well just say caterpillars because they're just devouring everything in here. Really do makes a difference planting up spares because they are in perfect condition at the moment. There's a few nibbles on one of the leaves, but the kohlrabi is in perfect condition. So always keep hold of your spares. It's worked out well. And another thing I've noted is I gave these plenty of space. I think it was it 4 or 5 across. Yeah, I think it was 4 or 5 across. No, so they have plenty of room. These were just 4 across and they've had all the beans and the rat-tail radishes shading them out. And they've done really well. So there's all these little things that I pick up on that hopefully I can learn for next year. You know, on this I'm going to take out the rat-tail radishes now and actually plant them up into the flower beds. So it just adds to my list of jobs to do, but then also harvest these kohlrabi. So that gives me plenty more room in this bed. This bed hasn't really worked out. I used it mainly as a nursery bed, but we're going to come up with different ideas for next year. So hopefully get this bed fully running again. You know, I can't get the leeks in there because we had allium leaf miner in there last year. They were saying that. I'm not sure whether the allium leaf miner, if they were in there last year, they should have hatched, certainly in the spring and the summer. So we're on to period 3, aren't we? So in September. So maybe I may do some leeks in there. I've got plenty more gaps to fill in as well. So yeah, there's plenty of jobs to do at the moment, and one of them is desperately to keep on sowing so I can start filling in all these gaps that are popping up at the moment. And still plenty to harvest. I know these have been a failure, but that's okay. So it's a lesson. It's a lesson learned. But I've got plenty, certainly courgettes, cucumbers. We've got plenty of potatoes to harvest. That red curry looks like it's going to be ready in the next week. So there's plenty to harvest at the moment, and all the tomatoes. Who could forget about the tomatoes? So yeah, it really is a nice time to be growing at the moment. I just got to keep on going and successfully sow as well. Right, plenty of waffle there, so if you're still with us, thank you. And like I always say, hope you enjoyed the video and hope to see you again.